everyone. We want to welcome today here at YGM office Doug Fabiolli. He's the owner of Fabiolli Cedars Winery, and he's the founder and executive director of the new Ag School. Doug, welcome to
You
Got Made. Thank you for coming today.
Happy to be here.
We're excited to have you.
Good.
So Doug, tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit bio about you. How where you grow up, where you've been, if we say 20 years ago, and where you are right now. We know that you have a successful winery, the Fabiolli Cedar, and I love your wine. And I would tell you guys, if you are there and you go to his winery, the rosé is my favorite.
Okay.
The rosé wine is my favorite. But today we are mostly here to talk about the new Ag School, because I've been following you for a year now or 2 years, and this is incredible work you are doing. Can you tell us a little bit about you a little bit, and how did you get to have the new Ag School?
Sure. So I grew up in upstate New York, outside of Syracuse, and ended up going to school for business. But while going to school at Syracuse University, I was working in a vineyard very close by. And when I got to the end of school, it's like, okay, what business do I want to be in? And I said to myself, this wine thing is kind of cool. I like the farming, and I think there's jobs here. I think I can make a living at this. So she said, okay, and she's still saying okay. 34 years later, it's a different okay. It's like, all right, okay. So my wife is really partnership is incredible, and I'm very, very happy to be able to do this with her. But through the process, so I went to California for 10 years. After we finished up at school, we went to California, worked 10 years at Buena Vista Winery, did classes there, did a lot of training of folks coming in to learn the process. So I started there really kind of honing my teaching skills, I guess, okay, and my leadership skills and things like that. And then when I came back here, I found myself not only helping other wineries and starting my own, but also teaching other potential winemakers, farmers, staff in the field, and really passing on the knowledge that I learned along the way and trying to make it practical. So, when we talk about the Ag School, the agriculture is such a key part to all of this, and we really need more awareness and more education and more practical insertion of agriculture into our lives and into our culture here in Northern Virginia. So it really was kind of a good evolution, where as I was doing some of these classes, eventually I ended up taking my consulting job, which was kind of my side job along with starting our winery, and doing it as a class. So we did a class a number of years ago called So You Want to Be in the Wine Business, okay? And I had a 6-part series, and it was basically set to the adults. But they were considering doing their entrepreneurism, opening up their own business, or working in the industry. We taught hospitality, we taught a little bit of the agriculture, a little bit of the getting to know people, the networking, and whether it was exactly economic development and Visit Loudon and the Virginia Cooperative Extension. So all these other support groups around. Also, a lot of it also was the collaboration, is how to work together. But it really kind of sprung from there. We shifted a bit into specific programs for specific areas. And one of our key areas that we've been working with now is really trying to gear up those kids to the next level. And so that's been one of our successful areas. We had them out a couple of weeks ago. We had a great program. Some of the kids are the local kids here in Loudoun County. Some of them are kids of immigrants that have come in, a good Latino group. Some of them are in need. And we've been able to really open their eyes and show them some opportunities of all the different jobs and the skill sets that are needed in order to do these jobs down the road. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, cool stuff and very different.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what is the process and also what they will be learning this kid on the end and how long it is a program altogether.
So let's focus on our Think Outside program first, okay? Because I think that's the one that is more in the forefront. We have some other ones that we'll talk about, but this is one where, you know, I'll try to do this 2 or 3 times a year, okay, as a 1-week program. We're starting to pencil together our fall program. And what we just focused on was some outside work. We have some modules that we address and talk with the kids about. Cleaning and sanitation, farm equipment safety, hospitality, leadership, as well as one more, and I'm blanking on it right now. But the idea is we want to teach these young folks some of the jobs, some of the skills, just open their eyes up to different things. So we do some classroom work. We do some video stuff. I do a lot on leadership. I talk about a lot about entrepreneurism, about mentoring. You know, these are things that I'm trying to touch that they're not going to get through the regular school program. Yeah. And I think that's really important. I've been reaching out, and I've got some 1-day programs that we're doing where I kind of condense this down for some of the homeschoolers, okay? And we also use that program for the Job for a Day program in the fall.
Yeah,
so trying to distill some of these other pieces out to present to these young folks and give them an opportunity to learn a bit about themselves, learn a bit about how to work with others. All these are important skills, but you're doing it in a format, in an area where it's outside. Yes. And it's land-based, and it's food-based. So I work a lot with Tony Stafford from Ford's Fish Shack. Has been great.
We love Tony.
And Tony, it's always their favorite day at camp because Tony not only will teach them how to cook a little bit, he'll bring some food, and and it's really neat for them to see the skill set, to understand delicious food, and then that's just an easy program. But through our cleaning and sanitation module, they're learning some of those skills of how to turn the product into the food that we want. Now on a wine scale, that's the same kind of thing. We've got to be very clean. We don't dive in deep on the wine mostly because it is school age and things like that. But it's an important process to learn of the fermentation, of the cleanliness, how to protect your product, and to make good stuff in the end. Because that's what a business is.
Yeah. I mean, this is amazing. And the classes outside happen in your property, right?
Yeah. So in the spring last year, we actually did the program at the Heritage Farm Museum just down the road. Because I had some projects that I wanted to do with them and to get their program started up a little bit better. So we did the whole camp right there at the museum. At my place, we did it a couple of weeks ago in the beginning of the summer, and there we're able to do a little bit more field trips, and we're able to go to some of the other farms and see what else is going on and learn some other areas. And that was good. So we went to Temple Hall Farm Park, and they got to see the animals and kind of see how a more operating, larger scale farm operates. But also it's a piece of hospitality there as well. So it's important to recognize that that agritourism part is really what we have as a key part of our economic driver here in Loudoun County. We want to be able to not just produce something, but we want to teach people why it's important, how we do it, and help them understand why they would want to buy it. So those all fit together. And then we also went over to Farmer John's Market is another one that's very close to us, and get to see how the market gets set up and the different products that are going to be sold there on a regular basis. And just there's a lot of pieces that all come together, and just the exposure of different mentors, different job opportunities, different products that they can work in. and different models of how they might want to try to run a business or run something of their own or be involved.
Yeah, this is awesome. And what about the age for the kids? Should be, do you have that kind of?
So we we're trying to run this program as a workforce development program. Mm-hmm. Okay, so in speaking about that, we want these kids able to be able to come out of this and get a part-time job at that point. But we also recognize we need to gear some of these kids up. It's hard for them to just all of a sudden walk into this, take the class. So sometimes we have reached out and had some of the middle school kids, and I think they gain a lot. But generally, we tend to focus on high school. In some cases, even past that, and we're trying to develop those programs a little bit more. The advantage that we have with the school-age kids is that we're able to tap that market. Once they get out of school, out of high school, they kind of scatter. So we don't have a certain area where I get one or two, and I can touch them, and I can do some coaching for them, and maybe give them some offering of programs. But I don't have a regular program that I can put them into, and that's part of what we're trying to do too. We're an ag education advocate. If somebody does want to be a farmer, I want to steer them towards other opportunities for education. I don't have all the opportunities, but there are others out there. And we want to help steer people towards what may work best.
Yeah, and you'll be like the source for them too.
Exactly. Yeah. Some place that's safe, that they know they can come to us and we can talk through some ideas of what they want to do and help steer them in the direction that will be good for them and good for the community as well.
Yeah. Any event you do, guys, during the year? We
do. So we have our farm market coming up. Mm-hmm. Okay. So our farm market is we do it monthly. We call it a country market out at Fabiolli Cellars, and we have July 2nd from 11 to 5. We have it. So we have a little bit of farm products that we'll do that we're growing on the farm. We have a number of different vendors also that some will bring their own products. Some are makers. Some are more artisans. We mix it up, okay? And it's really about entrepreneurism. These young folks trying to get their own little business started. And the thing to recognize is for some of these folks, it may not be their main gig, okay? Because you usually can't just say, okay, I'm going to start a business and I'm going to quit my day job. Oftentimes, it's you keep your day
you have
job.
A business, you need to put the business plan.
Exactly. So you do a little bit and you start to build it. And then, this gives people like that an opportunity to see how it works, just to learn some of these steps along the way before they really reach out and put themselves at risk by starting a business full time.
This is awesome.
So
I can see when you're talking, you're so passionate about it, and that's what I love on these things. Like you're talking and you're so passionate about it, and that's amazing what you're doing. So is this focused only Loudoun County, Doc, or what about if some student from Fairfax County want to join?
If they want to come, that's great. Okay, we're in Luckett, so it's a little bit far for Fairfax, but I have no problem with that. And again, we will probably we're looking to continue programming at the Heritage Farm Museum. So if we have programming in Sterling, the drive isn't so much. Okay, and everywhere that they have agriculture is another opportunity to do more stuff. So we have Frying Pan Farm is a park and an operating farm in Fairfax. So there's some good opportunities there to learn. They may come to us to get some base, but then they have some hands-on stuff and opportunities to do more work and do more learning.
Are you thinking about expanding, Doc? I mean, this is great things what you're doing.
The idea of this is that what we have should be expandable. What we have to do is we need to find others like myself who are passionate about this, who want to continue the process. So this is a program that can be done anywhere, okay? Ours focuses on horticulture. We're starting to build a little bit more programming for animal husbandry. And because we recognize from our surveys and getting to know our kids, some of them are interested in animals. We want to make sure that that's a program that we have. I don't do animals, okay? We kind of decided that with our farm. The other area is the equestrian, okay? Those are animals, but they're more for sport and for other things like that. But it's a very important part of our rural economy, and there's a lot of horses on a lot of land here in Loudon, and there's a lot of good jobs and work to be done in order to take care of them.
Absolutely.
So we those are other areas just within here in Loudon or the surrounding areas that we've got plenty more opportunities to dive in and do more.
Yeah.
So I'll give a shout out to my board. I can't do this alone. I kind of started this a little bit alone, but they have done a great job of helping steer our organization to the next level. Okay, I mean, I'm kind of the ground guy, and I do my day job of running a winery, and I love to work with the kids, but just the support of how to build a nonprofit and make it functional
Absolutely.
is not easy, and it takes some work, and there's some bureaucracy, but there's some teamwork, and there's setting goals, and there's the finances behind it, and the commitments to the grants and the people that give us some opportunity to utilize those funds and do good work. And just across the board, I couldn't do this if I didn't have the support around me.
That's nice
So.
to do that. What year the new ag school started? How long?
It's
It's between.
I think we decided that it was like 2008 is when I started some of these classes. Okay, we've evolved since then. I believe it's 2016 is when we opened as a nonprofit. So it initially started as a for-profit, and along the way, I started talking to some other people. They said, you're going to do better if you change to a nonprofit. So we made that change, and that's how we've been moving forward now, and it's really worked out pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, amazing. And on winter, I'm assuming you kind of slow down, right? On winter, like hard time, like January, December, January.
Right, we're kind of gearing up. We do some mentor training.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of working on the other folks, on the adults, to help them be more mentors. But we also, we actually do some of that mentor training for some of the young folks as well, because we want to teach them as they're going through this program. They will always, as they learn something, they are then in the position to turn around and teach it. And the more they recognize that, the better they're going to be at doing the job well, because they don't want to teach bad habits. So do the job well, know that somebody behind you is watching, and kind of kick that up and do a better job. So we do some mentor training in the off season, and then I like that spring break opportunity, because there are folks that don't travel during spring break. It gives the parents a break as far as what are we going to do with our kids that week, and they gain something from that. And we're kind of gearing up. So yeah, we don't have we don't have any full-time staff. A lot of volunteers. I'm trying to thread it in with my schedule and timing. But we also in November we're doing the Job for a Day program.
Yes,
so I mean we do kind of keep moving through all season long.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, this is awesome. Any accomplishment you're thinking, Doug? What is your I know you have a vision somewhere. What are you thinking? 2023, 2024?
The goals have been, to kind of, I want to make this a little more sustainable, okay? I know I carry a lot of this on my own shoulders, and I look forward.
Thank you for that. Thank you for
everything. As you know this, as an entrepreneur, you've got to do everything. And then as you get it going the way that you feel it's going, and you feel you can hand it off, then you hand it off, and you have good people who are able to take that, and they take it sometimes in a direction that you didn't think of, but that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Because that's a growth pattern.
Absolutely.
So you can't control everything. So I've definitely done that, but I'm looking forward to having more people involved, and I can steer these young folks to more mentors and more job opportunities and more positions where they can grow further. It's exciting when I get young people in and they already have their passion, and they're showing that. And then it's like all I have to do is steer them along the way. We get some folks that, they're younger and they just haven't found their passion. So we've got to kind of teach them a little bit of, okay, gear it up. Let's go. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I'm hot. Oh, I'm thirsty. It's like, no, come on, let's go. We got work to do. Let's get moving. Let's keep this thing going. And it's great to see them, as I've talked to one person, help them find their grit. Okay, you've got to have that grit to be a good part of the team.
Yeah.
And that's really good. I know we kind of got off topic on that question, but these are just little things that I thrive off of when these kids show what they can do and take that next level. Because as adults, if they don't have that drive to get the work done, I just,
they won't be successful for whatever they want to do anyhow.
And I can't help them. I get to a point where if you don't want to do this, I'm not going to drag you along. You don't belong on the farm. Yeah. And that's okay. That's another thing that's really important is that with our program, we got three buckets that people land in, hopefully. One is that, wow, this is great. I love it. I can't wait to do more. Another one is, okay, this is good. I like it, but I'm not ready yet, okay, to kind of dive to the next step. But it's good to see. And the third one is to say, okay, this isn't for me. And that's a good thing, okay? I'd rather have that than get somebody's parent to put their kid into the program and the kid is...
Sometimes also parents push the kids, to do it, and maybe the kid is not ready yet, or this is not their passion.
It's not what they want to do. And I've had to do this with my own kids, is that I was lucky enough at a young enough age to figure out what I wanted to do. And from that point, I just kind of was focused and continued down that path, and wherever it took me. But I knew that field. I've got to give my kids the opportunity, and they've all decided that running a farm is not what they want to do. So I have great admiration for those folks that have a farm in multiple generations, and they're always able to find the next one that is good with that. I just in our Italian bloodline, we kind of naturally say, nah, we're going to do something else. And that's okay. That's the way it works.
So, Doc, tell us, how can we help as individual or as businesses? How can we get involved?
Well, I think first and foremost is certainly the recognition of what we're doing.
Yeah.
Realize that agriculture is a really important part of Loudoun County. It balances out the culture. We are so high tech and so focused and driven on, I refer to the eastern part of the county, but in the west, we have kind of the old school world of agriculture. And remember, agriculture is in every culture of the world, okay? And it's critical. We eat 3 times a day, so we always have to have food. Now, the nice thing that we've been able to develop in the West is that it's respite. It's a good place to relax. It's a good place to, have a glass of wine or have a pint of beer, have food, listen to some music. That's kind of our model out there. But also, utilizing that land, keeping that land green is a really important thing. So that recognition, I think, of what we're doing is really important, and we want to keep that going. We need people to do this.
Yeah.
We continually need people to do this. So the need, you have to recognize the need before you figure out what the need is, what we want to do next. Certainly, financial help, volunteers, yes. If you are a mentor, if you feel you want to be a mentor, if you have that passion, reach out to us, newagschool.org, and we have some classes to train you up a little further. We can have those conversations. If you are looking to do farming on your land, come on out. We can have some discussions on what we do. The best place is the market. Come to the market. We have people there to have those conversations. This Sunday, we do the first Sunday of every month at Fabiolli Cellars. Okay, so it's June or July 2nd is our next one, and then the one after that I think it's going to be August 6th. I'd have to double check, but it's the first Sunday of the month. You'll see some advertisement on Facebook. You'll see we put our signs out on Route 15. But the idea is present, we're there to talk more and to integrate people and educate them on what we're doing. We've gotten some great grants. I thank you very much to 100 Women Strong over the years. The Luckets Ruritans has been solid. We've gotten some help from Farm Credit and from Farm Bureau. The Economic Development, Visit Loudon, and the B&B Guild has actually gotten some grants and some other ones along the way. So we are looking to support, for support to keep our program going. We don't, for many years this was built on the shoulders of Fabiolli sellers, which we've kind of had to back off on that because our business isn't what it used to be. That's right. So, but again, we're trying to keep this thing, make this sustainable, make this work. We've had some help in taking this nonprofit to the next level, and we continue to work towards that, and have that stand on its own. And eventually, if it works in a way where other people are interested and want to see it, we're happy to share what we're doing and help other areas in the country do a bit of what we're doing.
Wow, this is amazing. And
thank you.
Good luck. Good luck.
Thank you. We're getting there.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for everything. And I wanted, I really want you to be here today because I wanted to spread the word about the new ag school because it's amazing. I've been following you about what you're doing, and for those kids, this is amazing.
So one other thing that I would say that we could use, we're always looking for those kids. Okay, so if a lot of times I need to reach the parents a little bit because they've got to understand what this program is and see that it's something different than just a program out of the high school. So it gives them an opportunity. Think for the parents, think outside the box. That maybe your kid is maybe they want to be a rocket scientist. We've had rocket scientists that started out in the ag school. Okay, so they may have that drive. So the skill set, really, you're learning so many other things that the land is just the tool to use it with. Okay, and to apply it with. I touch a lot on the sports because a lot of these kids are doing the sports.
I know.
But it's that teamwork. Yep. It's that drive. It's the getting through the heat and whatever it is in that game or in the practice. Try to show them the leadership on the field. Pieces like that. So it all fits together, and hopefully our next generation is better for it. That's really what the end goal is. So.
Because at the end of the day, we want everybody to be better from us. That's how I see it on the long run. So, thank you, Doug, very much.
Thank you very much. It's good to.
Thank you.
Okay, it's great to see you.
So, for any parent or any kid listening right now, to reach out to you if they are interested, when they need to go, what is the website?
Newagschool.org. Okay. Is the best way to go. You can also reach us through Fabiolli Sellers if you're not sure. Come by and visit us.
Yes,
again,
go visit the winery.
The market is the market's the first Sunday of the month, and we'd love to see you there. And that's going to be we're gonna keep going. We got work to do.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
All right.